This is going to be really a hiccup for Blake Lively and her team, I think.
To be able to secretly get these documents without having to give anyone notice, that would be the process, and we attempt to take all allowable action under the law.
Welcome to Tea Snatch, where the drama never sleeps. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button if you're ready for the real tea. Ryan Reynolds is straight up refusing to be seen in public with his own wife, Blake Lively. Yup, it's that serious. Word is, they're not planning to work together on any future projects. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Ryan's laying down strict rules to keep things under wraps, in a last-ditch effort to save both their image and their marriage. But here's the twist. Blake's not giving in, especially when it comes to Justin Baldoni. And guess what? A messy lawsuit that was quietly filed last year is suddenly bubbling back up, and it's making Blake look real shady. Let's spill it all. Ever since Blake Lively filed that lawsuit in the US, things have been spiraling for everyone involved. Justin B's career taking serious damage, Ryan's rep in Hollywood not looking good, and Blake, her marriage is hanging on by a thread. If I were Blake, I'd be fuming seeing headlines saying Ryan won't even collaborate with her anymore. Part of what made them the power couple was their Hollywood grind. Always side by side, always in sync. But now, they're being treated like two totally separate people. That image of unity, gone. Ever since the two were spotted flying solo at SNL's 50th anniversary special, it's clear. They're not faking it for the cameras anymore. The separation vibes are real. We've seen Blake hitting up the donut shop solo. We've seen her out here promoting Another Simple Favor with no Ryan in sight. She's rolling alone these days, and it's not just a coincidence. A source close to the couple spilled that they're now keeping their careers strictly separate. The tea? Ryan and Blake both now realise if their careers are going to survive, they cannot be involved in the same projects because everything will be heavily scrutinised. That's straight from the inside. Ryan's whole brand depends on his Mr. Nice Guy image. But if this lawsuit chaos explodes any further, it could wreck that squeaky clean rep he's built. Hollywood's quick to flip, and if people start looking at Ryan sideways, those major roles and endorsements could vanish in a snap. Let's be real. I've told you before, their relationship always gave off this weird vibe. Ryan's never treated Blake like she was truly on his level. Sound familiar? Kinda like his past with Scarlett Johansson, right? He couldn't handle being with someone just as big, or bigger than him. He seems to only feel comfortable when he's the bigger star. Like, he wants someone who's famous, but not too famous. Not someone who could outshine him. And the way he posts about her on social media? I mean, it gives low-key hate vibes. If my husband ever pulled that, it'd be unforgivable. And get this, I just found a juicy article titled "Inside Ryan Reynolds' Desperate Bid to Save His Image Amid Blake Lively's $400 million legal battle with Justin Baldoni. This is getting wild." Okay, so here's a little shimmer of hope for Blake. At least Ryan seems to be trying to do something to keep their world from burning down. Word on the street is that Ryan was the one who pushed for a gag order against Justin Baldoni's legal team. Yep, he wanted to shut down attorney Brian Friedman from running his mouth in the media. Apparently, Ryan and Blake filed paperwork on Tuesday asking for a protective order to muzzle Friedman, accusing him of running a wild, harassing and retaliatory media campaign against them. All because he's been out here defending Justin. That's literally his job. Now, let's be real. Justin shouldn't be out there giving interviews himself, especially in a case this big. That's why he hired Brian in the first place, to handle the mess, to fight dirty for him. But now, it looks like Brian's been stirring too much heat, and Ryan's trying to silence him before he connects more dots back to Ryan's projects. Or worse, his name starts getting dragged into even messier headlines. And it makes sense why Ryan's sweating. His production company has a ton of stuff in the pipeline. Movies, deals, big plans. If his reputation takes a hit now, that could destroy everything. Hollywood's all about image, and one wrong move could cost him millions. And speaking of legal drama, let's talk insurance nightmares. You think getting hurt is bad? Try dealing with the insurance company after. They'll stall, delay, lowball you, anything to avoid paying you what you're owed. Because guess what? They ain't on your side. That's where Morgan & Morgan comes in. They're the biggest injury law firm in the US, with over 1,000 attorneys and millions of clients under their belt. They've racked up billions in verdicts and settlements, including a $26 million payout in Philly. That's 40 times what the insurance company originally tried to throw their way. The fight's real, whether it's Hollywood or the courtroom. And here's the kicker. Morgan & Morgan doesn't charge a dime up front. No consultation fee. No hourly rates. No shady hidden costs. Nada. If you've been in an accident, they've got your back without draining your wallet. All you got to do is hit up forthepeople.com/Sloan or scan that QR code on the screen. You could probably file your claim before this video even ends. It costs you nothing to check how much you're actually owed. Huge shout out to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to the tea. So, Ryan's not just worried about himself. He's stressing over Blake's career too. And here's why. The role of Lily Bloom in It Ends With Us. That was supposed to be her big breakout moment, the one that finally locked in her status, not just as a Hollywood star, but as a powerhouse on and off the screen. She wasn't just the lead actress. Blake also managed to snag credits behind the scenes, giving her that extra shine if the movie hit it big. Award season buzz? That was the plan. It was set up to be a game changer for her entire image. But instead of a win, it totally backfired. All this legal mess and media heat, it swallowed up the hype. Ryan's reportedly been saying he's worried about her well-being. And honestly, it's looking like she's not okay behind the scenes. He's not doing great either. This whole thing has turned into a complete nightmare for both of them. And the worst part? There's no clear end in sight. The drama just keeps getting messier by the day. And the fact that this isn't ending anytime soon, that's got everyone even more shook. Now, here's a wild twist. Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, his house actually burned down in the LA wildfires. Like, the man's dealing with major real-life chaos. And Ryan Reynolds? He's not cutting him any slack. Ryan is still coming hard, trying to silence him in court. Why? Well, Brian's the one who leaked that unedited footage to the media. And it did not look good for Blake. In fact, it kind of made her look like she was low-key into whatever was going on with Justin Baldoni. And honestly, with clips like that, you can't sit there and tell me she wasn't into it. Even a little. That energy was undeniable. Meanwhile, another source told the Daily Mail that the whole idea of gagging Justin and Brian was just ridiculous. They straight up called it absurd, saying there's no way the gag order would ever stick. Their words, that motion was dead in the water. But here's where it gets even messier. There's not just one lawsuit flying around, there's a whole pile of them. Blake's suing Justin. Justin's suing Blake and the New York Times for defamation, launching a massive $400 million lawsuit. He claims Blake hijacked the film project and blew everything off course. And then Ryan got dragged in too. Justin says Ryan went off during a meeting in their New York penthouse, swearing, berating him in some intense tirade. He also claimed Ryan tried to muscle his way into the creative process, pressuring the team to fire the original editor and composer so he could replace them with people he had worked with before. It's accusations flying from every direction: career, sabotage, power plays, legal threats. The whole thing is spinning out of control. But let's circle back to that unedited footage again, because I found something very interesting from an intimacy coordinator that changes everything. So, the intimacy coordinator at the center of this latest storm, her name's Maya, and she spoke to the Hollywood Reporter, dropping some serious heat on this whole situation. According to Maya, that unedited footage proves one thing loud and clear: Justin Baldoni made Blake Lively uncomfortable. When she was asked what specifically caught her eye, she didn't hold back. She said, "The first thing is that he's trying to kiss her, and they clearly haven't discussed that ahead of time. She keeps pulling away and clearly doesn't want to do that." Now listen, no shade to Maya's credentials or her background in intimacy coordination, but here's the thing. How do you really pull that from the same footage we all watched? People are interpreting that scene way differently, but Maya insists that if she had been on set, the kiss would have been shut down fast. She called out Justin's failure to communicate and said it was pretty damning, as both an actor and a director. Then Blake Lively's legal team came swinging too, saying Justin and his lawyer are just pulling stunts to distract from the actual damaging evidence. And get this, they used the exact same word: damning. So now we gotta ask, does Maya secretly work with Blake's team or what? I mean, what are the odds they both throw out the same intense, kinda uncommon word like that? It's a little sus, right? Just something to keep an eye on. And here's the thing. This whole scene is supposed to be romantic, but no one seems to know where it fits in the storyline. Some say the characters were already deep in a toxic dynamic. Others think the scene came out of nowhere. If the character Justin's playing is supposed to be harmful or abusive, then why was the kiss even in there without a discussion first? It's giving confusion and controversy. There's clearly a ton going on behind the scenes, and no one can seem to agree on what's acting, what's real, or who crossed the line. This isn't just messy. It's a full-on media war. Honestly, I don't even know what to make of it. They're actors. It's hard to say what's performance and what's crossing the line. I mean, if you've ever been on set, you know those scenes can take forever to film. Sometimes you've got to stay frozen in a pose while the camera adjusts, the lighting gets tweaked, and a million little things get set just right. So maybe that explains some of the awkwardness. Maybe. But I want to hear from you. What did you think about that video footage? Drop it in the comments below, because this one's got people split. Now, let's get into something spicy. Because a super recent article from the Daily Mail is raising serious eyebrows. And yeah, we know the Daily Mail can be hit or miss, but this headline? It's wild. Blake Lively's super shady legal tactic that set off war with Justin Baldoni before he even knew what hit him. So here's the twist. While we've got tons of info flying around this case right now, there's still this huge mystery about what went down before everything blew up. That missing piece? It's expected to come out during discovery, when everyone's forced to hand over their receipts, texts, emails, all of it. But some legal experts are already calling the lawsuit Blake filed a total sham. They're saying her team pulled some next-level shady moves by filing in a way that allowed them to grab private text messages from Justin Baldoni's publicist, without Justin's legal team even knowing it was happening. Like, that's a serious sneak attack. Brian Friedman, Justin's attorney, said he was completely blindsided. Meanwhile, Blake's legal team clapped back hard, saying the lawsuit was common and entirely appropriate, and accused Brian of putting on a show with his so-called outrage, calling it totally fake. So now we've got accusations of legal trickery, fake outrage, and a headline war that just keeps escalating. The courtroom drama's off the charts, and we still don't have the full story yet. According to the court documents, this so-called shadow lawsuit was quietly filed in Manhattan Supreme Court on September 27th of last year. But here's where it gets messy. It wasn't filed under Blake or Ryan's name. Nope. It was filed by a company called Van Zaar, and they accused up to 10 unidentified people of damaging their business reputation. And what exactly did those 10 people do? That's the thing, the lawsuit doesn't even say. Like, not a single detail is given. Just a vague claim of harm, no names except one. Samantha Cates, a New York attorney. And the craziest part? Blake Lively's name isn't in the docs. Ryan's name is nowhere, not even Justin's. It's all hush-hush, super shady. Now, here's where it all starts connecting. Just 4 days after that shadow filing on October 1st, attorney Samantha Cates sent a subpoena to Stephanie Jones, who used to be Justin Baldoni's publicist. She demanded all documents and communications related to Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, their companies, and Justin himself. And what did Stephanie do? She handed it over. All of it, even though she didn't fully know who was behind the lawsuit or what the endgame was. She turned in the receipts, texts, emails, everything. Those messages? They revealed that Justin, Jessica Abel, and Melissa Nathan were allegedly coordinating a negative publicity campaign against Blake Lively. Yep, at the same time, they were supposed to be promoting the movie together in 2024. That's exactly why Blake's team is going after them hard. They're claiming this whole behind-the-scenes sabotage effort was meant to damage her image while she was starring in the film they were all working on. It's betrayal, plain and simple. So now we've got secret lawsuits, mystery companies, and sneaky subpoenas that flipped the whole story upside down. This legal web just keeps getting deeper, and the real names behind the curtain are starting to slip out. Blake Lively seems to be pointing fingers at everyone but herself when it comes to her damaged reputation. And yeah, the whole Justin Baldoni situation doesn't exactly make her look like a saint. But let's be real, she's had some rough moments way before this. Those old interview clips? Yikes. Some of them are just plain awkward. She comes off cold, even a little arrogant. It's not a great look, and the internet never forgets. Now, here's where it gets even shadier. In one of those exposed text messages, Melissa Nathan straight up said, "We can bury anyone." Let that sink in. It sounds like they had the power to completely obliterate Blake's reputation if they wanted to. And that doesn't help Justin's case at all. It makes the whole squad look ruthless. Then it gets even more suspicious. Samantha Cates, the attorney behind that secret Van Zaar lawsuit, asked for the whole thing to be withdrawn on December 19th. No further action, nothing. Just poof, gone. So she files this lawsuit, subpoenas Justin's ex-publicist, grabs all the juicy details, and then dips. That timing is a little too convenient. And here's the kicker. The very next day, Blake officially filed her complaint with the California Civil Rights Department, accusing Justin of harassment and retaliation. So now it looks like that shadow lawsuit was just a setup to quietly collect dirt before making her real legal move. Van Zaar's records say it was founded back in 2010 in Delaware. And if you know anything about Delaware, you know it's where a lot of companies get set up because of their business-friendly laws. No shade to Delaware, by the way. Big love if you're from there, especially anyone from Rehoboth Beach. Classic summer spot. But yeah, Delaware's lack of sales tax and corporate secrecy laws make it perfect for moves like this. Quiet, fast, and under the radar. This whole thing is feeling more like chess than a lawsuit. Blake's team is making calculated moves, and it's all playing out in real time. Delaware's known for its wild business laws. Like, seriously, they've got privacy rules so tight, you don't even have to list who actually owns the company. That's why so many rich folks set up shop there. No public records, no name dropping, and yeah, the tax breaks are pretty sweet too. So when you see a company registered in Delaware, it usually means someone's trying to keep things real quiet. And here's the tea. We still don't really know who Van Zaar is. But things started to unravel when it turned out that Van Zaar eventually did business in California, which legally forced them to file in that state too. And boom, that's where the receipts showed up. A September 2023 California corporate filing listed Blake Reynolds. Yes, that's Blake Lively's married name, as the CEO, secretary, and chief financial officer of Van Zaar. It also confirmed the company operates in the entertainment industry. So now it's crystal clear. This is Blake's personal LLC that was used to file that shadow lawsuit and grab evidence behind the scenes. Now tell me, that doesn't sound sketchy. Blake's team basically used one quiet, unnamed lawsuit to get dirt without tipping off Justin's legal crew, then rolled that info into her much bigger case. Is it technically illegal? Maybe not. But is it super shady? Oh, 100%. Even another lawyer came out and said it's rare, really rare, to file a lawsuit listing only Doe defendants. You know, those person 1 through 10 mystery types. The lawyer literally said, "It makes no sense to me." So yeah, the legal community's side-eyeing this hard. That's where we're at with this whole Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni mess. It's layers on layers of legal sneakiness, emotional drama, and behind-the-scenes games. And honestly, nobody is looking squeaky clean here. I mean, Blake's definitely moving like she's playing chess, not checkers. But at the same time, something about this makes it seem like Justin Baldoni's getting played too. You can almost feel like there's some truth on both sides, but also some serious manipulation. Could Blake have done all this just for nothing? Doesn't seem likely. But we'll have to wait for the court showdown to see what really went down. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I know you'll have opinions, and we'll be back with even more updates. Until then, stay locked in.